Hello everybody. Today I'll be showing you how to create an SSL certificate signed by a certificate authority. Now we use SSL certificates to establish a secure and encrypted connection between a server and a client. And one of the main advantages of having an SSL certificate signed by a CA is that it provides more trustworthiness and provides an extra layer of security as opposed to a self-signed certificate. Normally, these can cost you money, but we can go ahead and create one for free using OpenSSL. All right, so this is going to be a three-part series. The first part is where we'll be creating the root certificate authority and the required files such as the key, the configuration file, and the certificate. In the second part, we'll be creating the intermediate certificate authority, which we'll use to sign certificates on the behalf of the root certificate authority. And we'll also be creating a key, a certificate, and a certificate signing request. And then lastly, what we'll be doing is creating a server or client certificate and also signing them. All right, so let's get started. I'll be using this documentation here on jamielinux.com, and it's very thorough and pretty straightforward, so it's easy to follow along. So let's go ahead and begin the first part. All right, so the first thing I need to do is prepare the directory. So let's go ahead and make that. So that would be root. So I'm already in root, so I just create that. So let's see. Okay, and then we'll go into the CA directory. Here we'll make a few directories such as certs, CRL, new certs, and private. Go ahead and change mod 700 to private. Create index.txt and go ahead and create serial as well and add that line to it. Let's check. Okay, our files look good. All right, so now what we need to do is prepare the configuration file. We'll just navigate to this file, which I will grab. All right, the next thing we need to do is create the OpenSSL configuration file. So let's go ahead and do that. That looks good. Okay, then I will edit this file. Go ahead and insert what we just copied. And to keep everything uniform, I will just be using the defaults provided here so that you can follow along. So I will write and quit. Now, one of the things you want to make sure that you have set are the directory and file locations. So make sure that your directory matches what's here and what you have on your server or OpenSSL client. And here are a bunch of parameters and configurations that you can use, but we're just going to use the default suggested here. All right, so here comes the next part. We will be creating the root key. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm already in the CA folder, so OpenSSL, genRSA, AES256, out private /ca.key.pem, 4096 bits. That looks good. Create a password. Make sure you remember your password. Change mod 400, private, CA. Okay. Next, what we need to do is go ahead and create the root certificate. We'll be using the root key to create the root certificate. And we want to give it an expiration date of around 20 years. So let's go ahead and do that. We are in the correct directory. OpenSSL config. Here we will specify our configuration file. our key, X509, days 7300, SHA-256, extensions, let me make sure I spell that correctly, v3ca out, search ca dot cert dot pem. Password, okay. I'll leave that default, leave that default. I'll just use that. All right, so then I'll be using the same values that they have here. Common name, Alice, LTD, root, CA. Let's go ahead and verify, see if this matches. That looks good. Common name. Yep. All right. So that is it for part one. I'll be making part two shortly, and I'll see you there. Thanks. Goodbye.